Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak, or no further.
So Invincible is back, and its return was mind-blowing. Season 4 of Invincible takes inspiration from the comic, issues 66 through 85, the Viltrum War arc, where we explore consequentialism, Mark's shift in morality, and talking dinosaurs.
Claws, muscles, and chops! Extreme dinosaurs! Super cool superheroes!
Coronavirus!
But the main thing of this season is Mark, as he's in the middle of an identity crisis. And if he doesn't figure that out soon, it won't just be astronauts being mind-blown. It could mean he would be susceptible to someone's influence and manipulation. Can I get credit for foreshadowing?
You may not!
In a previous video, I explored Mark's relationship with his changing views and his inconsistent logic. But in short, Mark fantasized about being a hero in order to have a developed identity and to bond with his father. So when his father, Omni-Man, ripped the innocence of herodom from him, Mark tried following orders from Cecil. That didn't work. Tried valuing the life of his enemies. That didn't work. And tried holding on to moral absolutes that just led to him abusing the elderly.
Oh, harder, Daddy!
In short, Mark tries swinging to extremes to find a solution to his problem with being a hero. All he sees is an incomplete sense of self, his father's shadow, and crushing guilt, since hero is an occupation, not a purpose. So rather than learn how to gauge threats worth killing, build better strategies for herodom, and find a sense of community to work for effectively, he saves people while sporting an emo, moody disposition and a mind willing to kill. So the question now is, why is Mark like this? And how can he be better as a hero, as a boyfriend, and as a man?
I am thy father's spirit.
Feel bad about it. They talk to their parents, and everybody says, hey, you're going to college. What are you going to major in? It's like, I have no idea what I'm going to major in.
As mentioned earlier, Season 4 is exploring consequentialism, the philosophy of judging an action by its result, and within it, the simple idea of least amount of misery to make the most amount of happiness is central. A single example of this is the trolley problem. The train can't stop, so if you pull a lever, one person dies and 5 live. Don't do anything, the wheels are painted more red. So when Mark killed Russ, no longer Livingston, he weighed the life of humanity over the possible safety of one man. Sounds fair, but consequentialism can be a slippery slope, because if you value numbers of better good, you can devalue the worth of lives lost. And with Mark being so emotionally disengaged and not certain of his identity or morality, he could be manipulated into doing something very stupid, like really stupid.
For a certain time to walk the night.
Hamlet is a story by Shakespeare where the young man, Hamlet, mourns his father's death and grows suspicious that his uncle is the one who killed him. Motivated by the ghost of his dad, maybe, and a little insanity, he goes further and further into moral questioning, horrible acts, and further manipulation at the hands of this spiteful spirit who is whispering hate into his ears.
Most horrible.
If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother or...
Mark lacks knowledge on how to gauge his morality, and with no experienced father to guide him, Mark is susceptible to a voice that sounds reasonable but is actual insanity, like a walking, talking dinosaur.
Claws, muscles, and chops! Extreme dinosaurs!
Mark may be tempted by the logic of Dinosaurs, who preaches the natural conclusion of consequentialism's pseudo-intellect, that deaths of many can help prosper the general, though vague, good.
Who are you? What do you want?
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak.
Our planet is overburdened and dying.
'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard, a serpent stung me.
Stupidly breeding like rabbits as we stumble towards extinction.
Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest.
You gave us what no one else could. A chance at a better future, fewer mouths to feed.
Revenge is foul and most unnatural murder.
And this parallel to Hamlet is obvious, as Robert Kirkman was never subtle with his themes. We have Thrag holding a skull like he's auditioning for the role of Hamlet, Thaddeus being Socrates with a six-pack, and Viltrumites are aliens in white, invading egg-shaped planets for the need to repopulate.
Your real mission was to bang your way across the galaxy, looking for someone your people could make babies with?
Sarah, you are a slut. Get out of my house.
So yeah, Kirkman put his themes on a billboard and then hands you binoculars. So with Mark possibly being tempted into logical fallacies due to an uncertain identity and no true guide to help him, what can be done?
To be or not to be. Annihilate them!
How can Mark recover his sense of self? James Marcia is a psychologist who specializes in identity psychology and created the James Marcia Identity Developmental Chart. Look, psychologists aren't creative with names, but it's easy to identify.
Baby,
Get the out of here!
It's based on two axes: exploration, learning a topic, and commitment, committing to the topic, ranking them high or low. If you have low exploration and low commitment, you get diffusion. You're lost and adrift. If you have low exploration but high commitment, you get foreclosure. You're committed to something you don't understand and dragging yourself through obligation. If you have high exploration but low commitment, you get moratorium. You're willing to learn, but you wander aimlessly. And finally, if you have high exploration and high commitment, you get achievement, meaning you learned and will stick with your decisions, making your sense of self aligned. Looking at Mark, he's drifting between diffusion and foreclosure, as he does have experience and is still a hero, but he doesn't explore options to give himself fulfillment and doesn't understand his sense of being a hero anymore. He's just doing a mission, never doing good. This kind of guidance is necessary to build a better sense of self, and there's one character who actually is building that better sense of self. Brace yourself. It's Omni-Man. Omni-Man is forging his sense of self ahead of Mark, as he was once a Viltrumite soldier turned dad, turned beaten machine, turned sad prisoner. Only with the guidance of and the willingness to explore helping others did Omni-Man build a better sense of self.
I'm sorry, I was a different person.
Are you apologizing?
No, what do you, I don't.
See, before, you would have punched my head off for doing this.
I still might.
Using the graph again, Omni-Man explored helping people and learning of his wrongdoings, and by doing better and valuing life, he forged a stronger sense of self. No longer just a soldier or fake father, but a man on a mission to do good and save his family. It is ideal that Omni-Man gives wisdom to Mark, but in order for that to happen, Omni-Man will need to confront his wrongdoings on Earth. Invincible as a series loves exploring themes, and in contrast to the comic, which was far from the best, the series does a really good job. And within the season, it'll explore confronting oneself and the need for retribution and justice. So next time, we're going to dive deep into sin and confronting one's own wrongs and discuss how the series may explore justice, if justice is even real. So, until next time, bye.